reached the point in mid-1970 of National March we made many interesting geological scientific discoveries and had many narrow escapes around the whole time without loss of...
He was a dreamer, and at the age of 14, 15, his father got him passage on a working ship, and that was the start of Shackleton's life on the sea. What a glorious evening. I observed a star hovering gem-like above the bay. That was the last entry in his diary. That night he suffered a heart attack and died. The soul was knocked out of the expedition. Their heart wasn't in it without the boss. So they cut short and sailed back to England. At that stage, they had incurred quite a lot of expense. So to recoup and recover some of the expense, they sold the ship. The original owners in the north of Norway bought it back. The deck-mounted cabin became surplus to requirements. To this day, we should be so thankful to a Norwegian by the name of Johan Drage, who knew it was the cabin in which Shackleton had died, had it hoisted off the ship onto the back of his horse-drawn lorry to his home in Rognan in the north of Norway, where it remained in his back garden for the next 90 years. One of the most famous expeditions of all time is Endurance Expedition, because that was the name of his ship. He attempted to cross Antarctica from one coast to the next, a journey of 1,800 miles, pulling sledges with him, but it needed to be split into two expeditions. The Endurance would be on the Weddell Sea side of Antarctica, and the Aurora ship would be on the Ross Sea side of Antarctica. Job of the Ross Sea party was to lay down food depots so that when Shackleton crossed via the South Pole, he would pick up their depots that they had laid down for him, and therefore become the first person to cross the continent of Antarctica. He was unfortunate. His ship was icebound and drifted in the Weddell Sea for 11 months and never even got to Antarctica.
The introduction of Shackleton's cabin to its final resting place has been a long story, from when it was found as a garden shed in Norway to securing it for the museum and bringing it back to Ireland because of the association of Shackleton both as his birthplace and as the cabin's final resting place where he died to be within a couple of kilometres of each other.
After 11 months in the ice broke up. They managed to haul the 3 lifeboats with them. They sailed to Elephant Island. So within a day or so of landing there, Shackleton knew they were all likely to perish. He made the decision to refit one of the lifeboats called the James Caird, and with 4 others, including Tom Crean, he set sail from Elephant Island to South Georgia, a distance of 800 miles across the stormiest ocean in the world. He got to South Georgia after 15 days, realized very quickly he landed on the uninhabited side of the island, so himself, Crean and Worsley had to cross the interior of the island, which had never before been crossed, and he did it in 36 hours over peaks and glaciers, swamps and lakes, and to this day nobody has ever managed to cross South Georgia in 36 hours. On August the 30th, he took a boat back to Elephant Island, rescued his men. He was a worldwide hero.
The Athy Shackleton Museum is going to present itself as a fresh building, but it's going to have all of the social patina that it has always had. So the architectural vision was to both let this building be what it is, and where we need that extra signature space, to let that be a modern piece in its own right. And that is why the form of the shard comes into play.
A Corkman by the name of Eugene Furlong mentioned that Shackleton's cabin was in the north of Norway. We sprung into action, bringing Ulfbacka, the current owner, over to Athy, and he actually warmed to the notion that we have the house where Shackleton was born, and it would be nice for us to have the cabin in which Shackleton died. That will complete the circle. And within 2 years, we had done an arrangement with Ulfbacka where the cabin came to Ireland.
There has been a significant investment in Athy by Kildare County Council and by the Department of Rural and Community Development and the Gaeltacht. I feel immensely proud of this project. We took an old building that needed life brought back into it, and we've added on the iceberg and made it a new home for the Shackleton experience.
The most exciting thing for us is to see the reaction to people. We have spent time building this to bring this to life.
We're absolutely blown away with the enthusiasm of Kildare County Council for trying to make this as world-class a Shackleton Museum as is possible anywhere in the world, and it will be world-class.